Good morning, everyone. Please sit comfortably and stay in your practice. My name is Mo Myokan Weinhardt, and I'm a senior dharma teacher with the Empty Moon Sangha. Ed Sanchen Oberholzer was going to give this morning's talk, but was unfortunately unable to join us today. So I will try to do him honor, but no promises. And I can't believe it that this is my first in-person retreat in 2 years. And I have to admit, it's both invigorating and a little mind-boggling. This is my first time in Seattle, and I'm overjoyed to meet so many people in the community with whom I feel so close after practicing this way for a very long time, though we're only meeting in person now, which is wild. And being here, participating in sesshin with all of you, connected to our Sangha through the people in this room, and through all of the people joining us virtually, I am deeply grateful. Your presence is a real gift. Thank you. Today, I want to explore and unpack parts of the Bodhisattva's vow together. But first, a quick definition. Bodhisattva is a Sanskrit word that is still in Sanskrit because there is no English equivalent. It's a combination of bodhi, which means enlightenment or full knowledge, and sattva, a being. In Mahayana Buddhism, it refers to anyone who vows to awaken in order to relieve the suffering of all beings. And this is the Bodhisattva's Vow by Tori Enji, which you'll find on page 8 in our liturgy books, if you want to read along. I am only a simple disciple, but I offer these respectful words. When I look deeply into the real form of the universe, everything reveals the mysterious truth of the Tathagata. This truth never fails. In every moment and every place, things can't help but shine with this light. Realizing this, our ancestors gave reverent care to animals, birds, and all beings. Realizing this, we ourselves know that our daily food, clothing, and shelter are the warm body and beating heart of the Buddha. How can we be ungrateful to anyone or anything? Even though someone may be a fool, we can be compassionate. If someone turns against us, speaking ill of us, and treating us bitterly, it's best to bow down. This is the Buddha appearing to us, finding ways to free us from our own attachments, the very ones that have made us suffer again and again and again. Now, on each flash of thought, a lotus flower blooms, and on each flower, a Buddha. The light of the Tathagata appears before us, soaking into our feet. May we share this mind with all beings, so that we and the world together may grow in wisdom. Growing in wisdom is truly a journey without end. The destination is the unfolding of the journey itself, moment by moment. There's a special kind of alchemy to growing in wisdom. It's not something that can simply be acquired. It can't be bought or collected like baseball cards. Wisdom is earned the hard way, often by navigating a smorgasbord of dukkha, which means suffering or unease. If we're lucky, and if we're paying attention, we are capable of learning from others' experiences. But even so, the majority of my most important life lessons have come through my own mistakes, my frustrations, and my failures. These kinds of experiences are considerably harder to practice and to stay present in. There's a famous kid song called "We're Going on a Bear Hunt." I don't know if you guys are familiar with this. If not, that's okay. Yep. It points to this directly. We can't go over it. We can't go under it. We have to go through it. Everything reveals the mysterious truth of the Tathagata. The Tathagata refers to the historical Buddha himself, or to his teachings about awakening to the mysterious truth of form and emptiness. I remember the first time I heard that line. I was like, yeah, everything reveals the mysterious truth of awakening, of course. Well, I mean, except that time that a group of kids beat me up in elementary school. Or the time I lost my temper over something stupid and blew up at my best friend. Or the time Jan and James took me out to dinner and I dropped a giant dumpling inside the dipping sauce and splashed sauce everywhere. And then I had to stab it with chopsticks to get it back out. It was just so embarrassing. These experiences were definitely not Tathagata material. No way. But the line says, everything reveals the mysterious truth of the Tathagata. It can be so easy to dismiss or minimize the meaning of this one sentence, shrugging it off or not letting it all the way in. I mean, I'm sure when Tori Enji said everything, he couldn't have meant everything, right? Come on, reality TV, road rage, infidelity, power-hungry politicians, Hitler, for God's sake, everything? And yet, join me for a moment in this sandbox of possibility. Just what if? What if every moment and every place things can't help but shine with this light of the Tathagata, of not one, not two, this mysterious light of awakening. Even though someone may be a fool, we can be compassionate. This line holds particular significance for me. Aside from the more obvious interpretation of being compassionate toward other fools, which back in the days when I used to commute was especially difficult, it's taken me a shockingly long time to realize that this line equally invites me to be compassionate towards myself when I'm the fool. That can be a tall order. It is often much easier for me to show compassion toward others than it is to show toward myself. Particularly if I've been a fool, if I've made a mistake or failed in some way. Apparently, there are parts of me that sincerely believe that all beings are worthy of this kindness except for me. Just like all things reveal the mysterious truth of the Tathagata, except that stupid slippery dumpling. What is this picking and choosing? And I wonder, how does it show up for you? One of my many mistakes that Tori Enji seems to think reveals this mysterious truth happened years ago when I was just starting out as an early childhood educator at the Children's Creativity Museum in the Bay Area. I was in a cringeworthy situation that upset visitors and caused me a fair share of embarrassment. So one of my responsibilities at the time was developing these themed sensory tables for 2 to 5-year-old visitors. And for those who don't know, a sensory table is a low rectangular table with a plastic, kind of like deep bucket that can hold liquid or a variety of solid materials. And this is meant to stimulate children's minds, senses, and imaginations while they explore. So you can create anything in there, and it's a lot of fun. So I designed this moon-themed sensory table and worked on it for about a month, pulling everything together, and it was awesome. I found a container of dry, crumbled clay in the art closet that was perfect for moon dust. There were little plastic astronauts, NASA rockets, shovels, magnifying glasses, toddler tweezers, bowls to collect samples of the moon rocks. I was proud of this sensory table. Well, someone on the exhibits team saw me putting it all together, and the day before it was going to go out onto the public floor. And this person asked, "Isn't that kitty litter?" course not, I said. You know, I at the time had never owned a cat before, but I had taken one ceramics class in college, and I knew what dried, crumbled up clay looked like. I knew it. And I told her that it was just dried clay that I found in a container in the art closet. I'm pretty sure that's kitty litter, she said. It certainly didn't look like any kitty litter I had seen before. And despite the fact that this coworker had 2 cats at home, I clearly knew better, right? Yeah. I finished setting up the sensory table, and the next day it was a huge hit. Families loved it. Kids were all about it. I felt vindicated. The moon-themed sensory table was a total success. Until the next weekend. The following Saturday, a nanny identified the dry, crumbled up clay as kitty litter and complained about it to the front desk, that our museum was allowing children to play in kitty litter. Then she took it upon herself. Oh no, it gets better. She took it upon herself to go to every parent on the first floor of the museum and warn them not to go near that sensory table because it was filled with kitty litter, saying that pregnant women could contract toxoplasmosis and put their unborn children at risk of birth defects and death. Yeah. Needless to say, we pulled the sensory table right off of the public floor, and thankfully we were able to diffuse the situation. Toxoplasmosis is only a danger when it's used kitty litter. So thankfully that wasn't an issue. But you can imagine, I was deeply embarrassed and ashamed by the whole situation. And my inner hater had a field day with this. Even though someone may be a fool, we can be compassionate. If someone turns against us, speaking ill of us and treating us bitterly, even ourselves, it's best to bow down. This is the Buddha appearing to us, finding ways to free us from our own attachments, the very ones that have made us suffer again and again and again. The truth is, we're all fools. It reminds me of the movie The Avengers, and there's this character, Bruce Banner, who turns into the Hulk at a pivotal moment, and he says, "That's my secret. I'm always angry." Well, that's our secret. In a sense, we humans are always fools, and we can always be compassionate. And hopefully, as we earn bits of wisdom along the way, we can practice this bowing down more often and become ever more compassionate fools. In every moment and every place, things can't help but shine with this light. How can we be ungrateful to anyone or anything? Indeed, nothing is left out. Those many kalpas we've spent hurting others, hurting ourselves, making mistakes, saying or doing the wrong thing. We can't go over them. We can't go under them. We've got to go through them. Realizing this, may we be present to whatever is arising and continue to practice. Realizing this, may we share this mind with all beings so that we and the world together may grow in wisdom. Thank you, Bodhisattvas.